The weather is absolutely beautiful today. Spring sprang early. One thing I like about spring is it's the beginning of forage season. And especially these things you can forage in early spring, they're not that bitter. Like your dandelions. Summer and fall, very, very bitter plants. But during the spring, they're fresh, they're floral. So I'm going to take a walk around the woods today, bring you guys with me, take some video, see what we can find to forage, and make a meal about what we forage today. Wish me luck because it is still very early spring. And there's our first grab of the day. Good old dandelions. I don't know why people just think of dandelions as weeds, you know. Growing in your backyard, I see salad. The entire dandelion is edible. The leaves, the flower, the stems, even the root. If you dig the dandelions up, you can roast the root and grind it and have something akin to coffee. Now, I'm making somewhat of a soup and I want a floralness to it, so I'm going for the flowers. And being so early in spring, they haven't developed any bitterness. They're, in fact, very tasty, even as is. No bitterness, very floral and very earthy, and they're a mix of I'd say a cauliflower taste and spinach. Right? Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Cauliflower and spinach. So I'm gonna gather a bunch of those for my my reusable bag and see what we get. Well, I found a place to come back to later. These are ditch lilies. They are edible. They're more for color than anything, but they are edible. You have to wait until they flowered. It's the flower that you want. It's orangey color. Really great fried tempura style. I'd also like to add a little disclaimer. Be sure if you're going foraging, be sure you know what you're getting. There's a lot of toxic plants and lookalikes out there, and check once, check twice, check 3 times and forward. If you're still not sure, don't get it. And if you have to check 4 times, don't get it. This next one, I know what it is. I'm sure of what it is, but I will go ahead. If it's going to be something I pick, I check it a couple times anyways. But this is virgin water leaf. It's great with salads. I'm going to get some right now. Right there. Good for salads, good for eating raw. Again, most plants, they get really bitter as they get older, but this is like fresh, sprouted out of the ground. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. Not much, just enough. And I'm going to fill my bag. Now, smells like a leaf. Can be eaten raw. I'm going to be using it in my soup, but yeah, let's give it a try as is. I don't know how to describe that taste. It tastes like clover, sort of, but I'm not going to guess many people eat clover. A very mild celery taste, very earthy, and I don't know how to, I want to say banana-y. That's like the back note of banana in it. That's the best I got, but it's good. I'm got some in my bag, so that's going to be on the plate tonight. And lastly, if there is a good rule of thumb, if you are foraging, don't decimate the area. Take what you're going to use that day and leave the rest. The plant's got to grow and seed and repopulate. I didn't take much. You can't even tell that I took any. I took a couple sprigs worth. You don't need more than that. You need what you need for that day. Don't destroy the species. I just found myself a nice little surprise, some garlic mustard. Now, if you are harvesting garlic mustard, it's an invasive species, so this one, take it all. So yeah, I'm gonna grab that right now. Right like that, and I'm gonna decimate this plant. This is what I'm talking about, why you have to be careful. This is garlic mustard. This is motherwort. They both look fairly similar, can be easily confused. Well, motherwort is technically edible. It's not the best thing to eat. It's used in a lot of medications, so don't get that. This, much more safe. Get this. Not this. This is bad. This is good. Now for a quick little taste test of the garlic mustard right here. Yeah, it's a very mild garlicky flavor and a very mild, very mild mustardy flavor. Hence the name garlic mustard. It's good though. It's gonna be going in my soup tonight. It took some time, but I found what I came down to forage. The main thing I came down to forage. So y'all know about the maple tree, one of the most prolific North American trees. Maple syrup, maple sap, sugar, that stuff. It's not only the maple syrup that's edible on the tree, but if you get there at the right time of year when it's blossoming, the blossoms are edible and very tasty. So we're gonna get those right now. There it is. Very beautiful tree, and we'll see what I can reach and grab. I believe this species of maple is actually a Norway maple. Still edible, still tasty, so. Different maple trees have a little bit of different taste. The sugar maple trees are just that, a little bit sugarier. These are a bit earthier, but this is all that you want are the blossoms. There's a lot of way to do them. They're just going in my soup as is, but a little bit of tempura batter and fry them up. Delicious. Now for the quick taste test before I, harvest as much as I can grab. So these are going in. They're very sweet. Kind of a cucumber-y feel to them, like they're really sweet, and yeah, a bit of a cucumberness to them. A nuttiness. They're really good. They're probably the best tasting thing I got here, but it's going in my soup, and I'm going to collect now. And next time you'll see me as future me, I'm going to be cooking a Hobo instant noodle soup with foraged veggies. Got to get all the nutrition you need. And so I've been trying to figure out what to make. Mostly what I picked were very aromatic. So I figured I've got these very cheap instant noodles. They're okay. All that they have is salty, spicy, and a little bit sour. They're okay, but on their own, they're lacking. So I'm going to use what I've got, not so much as a meal, but as a flavoring agent. There's a lot of good flavors in here. Garlicky, sweetness, nuttiness. So I'm going to start boiling some water on this. Get everything in there as a boil, and I'm going to use the seasonings from the packages here to, season the broth and get something really tasty going on. So I'm going to start packing this up right now. Go through this. I know I want most of the maple in there, so those are going right in the bowl. And that is mustard green and the virgin water leaf. Pretty much all of it's going to go in, because I don't like waste, and I picked it. I'm going to use it, and we'll go from there. But I didn't, as I said, they only pick as much as you're going to use. It doesn't last that long, and it's kind of one of those, you picked it, you should be eating it. And honestly, everything in here, all the flavors will go very well together, kind of like a tea. But yeah, let's just start that now. Chili oil's going in. It's going to be spicy, but again, the broth of the instant noodle itself is so lacking in savoriness. It's just got sour, spicy, and salty. It needs savory, it needs nutty, it needs floral, and that's what's going to happen with what's going in. It's a kimchi flavored, but there's really no savoriness in it, but that's to be expected on a product that is that budgeted. I'm also going to add something, meat into it. You can kind of call it meat, but it's much meat. I'm going to fry this on the barbecue. A little bit of smokiness will be good too. So yeah, I'm going to add some water to this and get it to a boil. Now I'm going to actually add a lot more water than is needed, because there's a lot of aromatics in there, and the things themselves are way too salty. if you go by the directions. So it's going to be more herby than anything else. So now I got to get the fire started. But yeah, that's already smelling good. I can smell the seasoning from the ramen, but it doesn't smell like it normally does. I can smell garlic from the garlic mustard, and I can smell the sweetness from these things. So yeah, let's get cooking. And if you pack your firebox correctly, it has no problem going up, like, instantly. No effort, nothing, just drop the fire in, and boom, we'll be cooking in a few minutes. And she's on. So it shouldn't take too long to boil. This is really hot. And yeah, we'll see what we get. We're coming close to the boiling point. Gonna have to add my lunch meat in a couple seconds and get that fried up. But the smell off of this is incredible. Like, it's very earthy and aromatic, and I can't wait to actually try it. So let me finish up, get everything else on, and we'll have a meal once, you know, it hits a boiling point. We're now boiling, so time to take it off. Perfect. I'm going to cook the lunch meat next, but first, got to get the noodles in. By the time they're done, so will the meat be. Shit. That's what forks are for. It's just a little dusty. It's still good. But yeah, once they're a little bit browned up, we'll be good to go. And yeah, that didn't take long, just a couple minutes, and everything here is done, so that can go in. Like that. And yeah, doesn't really matter how it looks, it's how it tastes, but it's starting to look good and it smells amazing. So let's pack this in and we'll try it out. That's coming up next. Now everything's in, and yeah, it should be just warm enough to eat. First things we got to do is try this broth out. It smells amazing. It really does. I'm hoping it's better than it usually is. Honestly, it's somewhat flavorless, just spicy on its own. But I can smell all the aromatics from what we collected, and it smells good. So, very hot, very hot, very hot. It's good. It's changed a lot. Just enough salt. Still got the heat, but the main thing I'm tasting, I'm tasting a little bit of everything. Like, the virgin water wheat is tasteless on its own. So it's lost, but there's substance in there now. I'm getting a lot of taste from the maple flowerets, the maple blossoms, and garlic. Lots of garlic from the mustard garlic I picked. But yeah, let's really get a good taste of. I'm hoping to grab some of a little bit of everything in a bite. Yep, there are some dandelions and the maple blossoms, some noodles. And yeah, that's it. And I'm going to try it with this. The maple blossoms have a crunch to it I really like, but they got a nice, it mixes well with the spiciness, and it brings in a lot of flavor. This was well worth going around and, foraging. But yeah, the most important part, it's been sitting in there for a while, is the meat. The lunch meat. It's definitely lunch meat. But it picks up a lot of the broth flavor. It soaks it up. It's one of those spongy potted meats. But yeah, all in all, it's really good. It's kind of neat when you can get the cheapest ingredients possible, make it into, well, this is $1 thing of ramen from the dollar store, and make it to something that's, I'd say, probably a $6 thing of ramen. It's good. It's fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoy foraging and hopefully get to do some more in the future with mushrooms and whatnot. But thanks for watching. If you liked this video, like this video. If you didn't like this video, still like it. It helps me out. This Hobo is signing off for the day. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed today. Bye. Dinner time.